Hi everyone, this is Karak from AngryCentaurGaming, and you may know me from such hit reviews as Mom's Diaphragm Tastes Funny on Australian Adventure, and you have my Respect guidebook for budding amateur webcam whores. Today I'm going to bring you the review for Watch Dogs from Ubisoft, the tale of a Chinese restaurant owner's tribulations preparing a large wedding meal. But seriously folks, most of us know what the game is. One half Assassin's Creed, one half Enemy of the State, with a little bit of sneakers thrown into it. Watch Dogs has been a long time in coming to the systems near us. So is this game the one big bad wolf in Ubisoft's pack, pissing on the other games in total dominance, just mounting and dry humping other titles into submission? Or is it nothing more than the run of the litter, with all the physical traits of a great game, but spending too much time sucking on the hind tit to be anything special? Let's check it out. First is going to be the PC. Now, I did play it on the consoles as well, but the PC is where most of this review is going to come from. I run an i7-920 overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz, 6 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 680. And with that, I could set everything on the highest settings but one single setting and run it with some MSAA anti-aliasing and still get it locked at around 30 frames per second, or sorry, locked at 30 frames per second. You can mess around with so many different types of VSync in the game and so many different types of anti-aliasing that a sweet spot can sometimes be hard to sort of lock down. I have to say, though, it felt fairly optimized when it comes to PC games as of late, and it looked really good. Also, the Xbox One and PS4 looked good, with the Xbox One having a slight issue that apparently with the shadows, I noticed there was some issues there and a little bit of the lighting. It still looked really good. So did the PS4 version. The console versions of 360, you know, it looked good for a 360 game. Does it look as good as the trailers? No. Don't even fool yourself, but in the end, it's the game we get, and that's what matters. The game looks good. It did have some bugs, which you can see in the video with some stutter from RAM swapping when driving, that did induce a little bit of nausea to me. Regardless, it looks great and runs fairly well, even if the world does flicker out occasionally, like you're just done snorting an entire Warwick Davis of cocaine. And I never felt Oprah couch comfort with the VSync options or their impact on the game either. They felt like suggestions, or magic. The water looks amazing but doesn't look real, while the lighting looks good but doesn't look amazing. The game is a solid textbook example of give and take to get a game to run as well as it can while looking good on multiple systems. No problem with that personally, and it bodes well for system upgrades, making the game look better later on. Lots of environmental effects are thrown around, some like the strange exorcist trees shivering in the wind while you're reaching for the nearest Bible to call down angels to burn the obviously sentient foliage, yet the lighting at night and the various effects and reflections were all very well done. It was a great mix overall. While the console versions were close, with the Xbox One having a slightly lower resolution and some adjustments to lighting, both next-gen versions still looked hot cousin great instead of creepy Uncle Bad. Up next is sound, music, and voice. After many hours of shootouts, burnouts, makeouts, and fakeouts, I have to say the game is just simply stellar when it comes to sound. The sonic spectrum is respected here, with sounds not rambling all over one another like two drunk uncles arguing at a reunion about who has the larger motorhome. Simply great. Some of the guns really slam out the bullets with excellent mixes of different ammunition, helping you identify what's being shot at you by sound alone as well as to where. Great overall direction, as well as when cars smash into each other. It's just, the sound is just really well done, and when you hear it and you compare it to other games, you'll sort of begin to notice that. Music. The music is also stellar. Does that sound like deja vu? Listen, I can explain it more, but it's great. Enough said, full stop. It fits the game perfectly. It's a great soundtrack throughout. Voice. Honestly, perfection. Not only do the emotions from the characters carry out in every single interaction, but NPCs are just constantly chattering away like real life. Shit is just going down everywhere, and the reactions to your actions are laugh out loud funny at times and in a very realistic way. It's just phenomenal, and that means a lot coming from me, as I rarely find that companies spend more than their bottle return money on voice actors. Gameplay. So there's a lot here. Here's some things that you can expect. Running, gunning, a little bit of parkour, and a little bit of exploration. But it's the tools that you're given as you go through the story and how they impact the world around you that sets this game way above some others. The first time you cause a car wreck at a stoplight and people rush to help and cars go from burning wrecks to explosive GMC fuel bombs, it's simply epic. Then you blow out the lights on a city block and set the entire area into panic. The feel of real power here is amazing and is useful in so many ways. It is constant experimentation. You can hack ATMs, hack phones, hack lives, hack power grids, hack cars, hack stores, hack lights, hack cameras, and hack hackers, and basically just hack the shit out of everything. Additionally, you can upgrade a metric shit ton of skills. So many skills that the menu even confused me for a bit, and I didn't know that there was an entire other list of skills that were there as well. This is as close to 2nd edition D&D nerd skill stuff as a game is gonna get. So fun, and each skill really brings tangible benefits to your gameplay. As you progress, you learn more and more, and yet the enemies also have some skill of their own. Gunplay is less pop and stop and more shoot and scoot, with you finding that moving can confuse the enemy fairly easily, sort of like real life, and blowing the lights out of a city block is some Batman-style dark justice when enemies have you surrounded. Now, driving's a bit slippery. Not terrible, but it can be bothersome at times, and I can expect that that'll be the part of the game that gets the most complaints. There are also mini-games with virtual reality and awesome notes to be found about the world around you. Guys, someone did their homework. I felt good playing this. Not sex good, but at least deep tongue kiss with a strange French woman good. It was really fine. Now, when it comes to the multiplayer, there's a couple multiplayer suites, but I have to admit, multiplayer did not grab my attention. Car racing is car racing, and only fun once in a while. There's also hacking, which I really did enjoy, but that seemed to get boring quick. There's also some other different modes and menus, but to be brutally honest, the multiplayer did not grab me at all. Now, normally I don't discuss plot. I want to keep out of spoiler territory, and I still will during this review. But I do have to say that the voice actors and the plot come together in the world to really weave something tremendously interesting at times. Are there missteps? Sure. But overall, I was actually very interested in the plot. The voice actors did a really good job of moving that along. There were some cheesy bits for sure, and there was a couple issues with animation from time to time. But overall, it was actually a story that I was really interested in. So what do you get with Watch Dogs for the PC, Xbox One, PS4, PS3, 360? Well, you get a very long game filled with many interesting things to do and a couple things that are not so interesting. A game that looks great but isn't up to the trailer. However, when you're living and breathing in the world, it is hard not to be impressed when the cops chase you through the backyards, across town, down through a subway tunnel, and then set up a roadblock. It's a game that seems to be more delivery than promise, which is a rare thing these days indeed, especially if you take into consideration not the trailer itself, but just what they've been talking about with these gameplay advances and some of the things you can do. Overall, the tools that they give you in the game and the way you can use them and when you can use them and how you learn, it just really came together. So I rate games on a buy, wait for a sale, rent, or don't hesitate to tease others who bought it rating scale. This is, as you guessed it, a buy. Take my word for it, beauty isn't in the eye of the beholder, it's in the blessed darkness of a room with the light off for post-bar hop pickup sex, and in most of this game's environments. This is a game that comes fairly close to the trailer, but adds a world of atmosphere and interesting things to do. It's a long game with Obama-like resiliency and some state-of-the-art shit going on, a game that actually gives me a bit more hope that some AAA titles aren't just a flash of a pretty face like Gary Busey, but are actually backed up by the ball sweat and iron of hard work. Bravo to these guys. So this is Karak from AngryCentaurGaming. Thanks for listening and watching. If you liked the video, hit like. If you disliked it, hit dislike. And always remember that no matter what, your motto should be life, liberty, and the pursuit of puberty. Well, not a pursuit, really. More like crashing a car at 8,000 miles an hour into a sack of female bodies and hoping sex happens. That's how I did it, at least. That would also explain the crippling VDs. Peace out, bitches. I'm hacking your moms.